And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Checkpoint episode 107, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show, rounding up all the hottest gaming news stories of the week and discussing all the relevant topics you need to know about. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, today joined by super hot summer sexy boy, James Wallner.
Whoa.
James is going to be 97 over there today.
It's going to be 97. I want to die.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's going to be 92 here.
Yeah.
It's hot. Hot days, baby.
Hot. It's real hot.
Audio listeners, thank you so much for listening. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. Please hit us with a rating on audio platforms and subscribe. It would help us out a lot. We have a lot going on the channel right now. A lot of Moon Knight stuff. We got reviews going up. We're going to have Marvel Theories videos popping up. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. It's fun. I was looking at our upload stuff, James. We're uploading like every 2 to 3 days, which is like really consistent.
It's really consistent.
We got a good consistent thing going. It's pretty nice. Today we're talking about E3 being canceled, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Unreal Engine 5 launching, Max Payne remakes, and some weird metaverse stuff going on. And it's actually a lot. Like it's a lot.
Actually, a lot. We got a wide spread going on today.
It's a huge spread.
It's a full 5-course meal.
It's the shotgun blast of news articles today. Truly. So let's jump into the first one, James. What do we got?
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Vincent,
I'm off my game.
on.
I'm off my game.
Wow. Oh
I'm
my
so
goodness.
sorry.
Vincent, how are you doing? What are you playing?
Obviously not good enough to remember
Yeah,
after
are you
107
okay?
episodes the correct
you
order of
okay?
things.
Is everything all good?
I guess I'm not. No, I've actually had a pretty good week. It's been a whirlwind. There's been some really high highs and some, it's a typical week. But it's had some cool stuff going on. But game-wise, I've been playing some cool games. I've been playing a little bit of Elden Ring. Got my next boss down, so I'm feeling good about that.
Renala,
leveling up. I think I'm level 61, 62 now, so we're cooking. I think Radon is my next go-to. I think I'm gonna go try to clap him up.
what level are you?
62, I believe.
Yeah, you got it. You're good.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
And they buffed him.
They buffed him back
up.
Yeah.
So now you'll be able to get that extra ego boost from fighting Radon and beating him.
Also, I got Guts Greatsword, and because I hit Strength 31, so I leveled it up to plus 13 in the first.
Holy fuck, that's bigger than mine. I'm like plus 11, plus 12.
Dude, I just, because I had exactly the right amount of smithing stones to go from like the level 5 smithing stones to the level 6 or whatever like that. And so I was like, boom, I'm just gonna go for it and just invest it in. So it's a killer, baby. It's insane. It's going crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I started reading Berserk and like it just makes me love the sword even more because
that's cool.
He literally just like chops everything in half.
Yeah.
With the sword.
Man, I can't wait to play more. It's seriously so good.
Yeah.
It is so good.
I've only been playing more Elden Ring.
Yeah.
My camera's tilted a little bit. I've only been playing more Elden Ring. And I am on the hunt for weapons. I'm on the hunt for ashes. I'm still trying to get the Bloodhound step. I've tried to beat the boss to get the Bloodhound step, and it's just way too hard.
Yeah.
Definitely an end game boss. But I'm going around back trying to find some side characters and trying to complete some side quests.
Right.
So I can get some cool unique weapons because I love the gut sword, but I'm also trying to expand my repertoire. And that's I think my one complaint of Elden Ring is it wants you to buy into things so bad. Like it wants you to really invest into like one play style.
Yeah.
And you like even with levels, you get a few larval tiers and things like that. I think the game gives you 12, which should be plenty amount of times to respect. But going through that process multiple times is just like I don't know if it's super accommodating to people who want to try different play styles. And I know this is sort of typical Soulsborne die twice territory.
Yeah.
But it like I would love to see what From Software does to make builds more customizable to players so they can ebb and flow and change, styles on the fly a little easier.
Right. Yeah, it's
without going into the territory of being in a PvP fight or something like that, or being in a boss fight and being able to just switch on the fly right there to be like, all right, like this person's coming at me with a Dex build, so I'm gonna switch to a Faith build
Yeah,
real quick to counter that. Like that's stupid. I
that
don't
would
think
be.
that should be happening.
Yeah,
But,
you would lock in. You would maybe lock in at a PvP thing or something like that.
right.
Yeah. There's a lot of things like I think for me for Elden Ring right now, it's like I really, really want to try magic build. Like I feel like I've already kind of gone. I'm far enough in to where I'm a strength build right now, or trying to be a strength
Mm-hmm.
build. And I use incantations every once in a while. Like I just kind of sprinkle them in when I can.
What's your Faith at?
14. But that
Oh, okay. I think mine's at like 13 or 14.
that's my base though. I haven't upgraded faith one time uh
Mm-hmm.
since the beginning. But that's just because I chose confessor, I guess. But I don't see myself respecing this character into magic. If I really do want to try like or faith build or whatever we want to call it, if I do want to try that, it would probably be with a new character. I don't know if I'd play the whole game
That's
through
what I'm
again.
thinking
You know?
too.
It's like I've committed to this, and it's not that I dislike my current build. I want to try out some of the other things that I see people doing. I'm like, that looks really really cool, but currently, like I can't do that. But
Right. And New Game Plus allows you to respect, or not
yeah,
respect, but like get more skills so you can have a little more variation in
right,
your play style.
which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some cool weapons that I've been seeing that I definitely want to hunt for eventually. That I don't know if I'll
Yeah.
use the great sword all the way till the end, but right now it's solid. Like I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope. All right, jumping in the first one, James.
All right. You got it. E3 2022, both digital and physical, has been officially canceled. This came last Thursday after we finished our previous recording. And so we had to jump back and cover this for you guys.
Yeah.
The ESA had initially planned for an in-person E3 event this year after having no event in 2020 due to COVID-19 and a digital one in 2021. However, this was canceled in January with the ESA at the time unable to make a public statement on whether or not there would be a digital equivalent. According to sources speaking to IGN at the time, discussions around E3 had been fraught throughout the year, with third parties normally involved finding the ESA's ongoing silence regarding their plans frustrating. Now, there's been an update to this. Also, this comes from IGN. I don't know if I said that earlier. Update. The ESA has shared an official statement with IGN confirming E3 2022's cancellation and announcing that E3 will return in 2023 with a, quote, reinvigorated showcase.
Do you believe that statement?
I'm skeptical.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is a tentative plan.
Yeah.
I think this is a tentative plan.
Absolutely.
We'll talk more about why I think it's a tentative plan after I finish this, but I think it's a tentative plan. Another quote, we will devote all our energy and resources to delivering a revitalized physical and digital E3 experience next summer. Whether enjoyed from the show floor or your favorite devices, the 2023 showcase will bring the community, media, and industry back together in an all-new format and interactive experience. We look forward to presenting E3 to fans around the world live from Los Angeles in 2023, unquote. The ESA adds that the 2022 showcase has been canceled so the organization can, quote, focus its resources, unquote, on the 2023 show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I got a lot of thoughts like about this, I guess. Just
okay.
We've been hearing like the death of E3 has been quite the terminology for what's happening over the last couple of years. Like I'm not surprised at all that this got canceled, especially with Summer Game Fest coming out and stuff like that. Here's the thing I will say, I am a little bit bummed. Like I've always wanted to attend an E3, so like oh, this is a bummer. Like I might not be able to ever attend an E3 again. If this is kind of the way it goes,
Right.
It's not going to be canceled. And I know there was also a lot of like, oh, E3 is the worst for like journalists and stuff because it's like really crunch and not crunch, but like just it's go. There's a million things to cover.
Tired.
You're going for work. You're not going for enjoyment. So I understand that part of it. It's like, oh, it's kind of relieving that we don't have to go to E3. But then there's also the same people sharing a lot of love for E3, like great stories coming from it, meeting people and stuff. And so that's really cool. But I don't really see, with the way things have been going with each major studio or platform doing their own sort of PlayStation State of Play, Xbox showcases, the Nintendo's thing, like there's a lot of those. I'm bummed there isn't a big conglomerate thing, but that is what Summer Game Fest is trying to be. And I think they'll learn a lot from last year, because last year wasn't like a 10 out of 10 show or anything, but
right. Now, here's my thing that I think this is my case for E3 being viable, especially in the current climate regarding Summer Games Fest, because as we know right now, Summer Game Fest is kind of dominating the summer Games News Expo
Yeah.
slot,
Right.
the arena there. I think E3 could come back if they find a way to make the experience more interactive with the press and with players.
Mm.
And this is what I mean by that. E3 in its golden age was a place not just for conferences, but they had an entire show floor where people could play demos of the games that they had available. Publishers, developers could showcase their games and have people get their hands on them in the moment. Now, here's what I'm thinking. If E3 were to continue, because Summer Games Fest can't do that,
No.
or at least they haven't so far.
Yeah.
I guess no one says they can't, but
Right.
being a completely digital only conference, it's hard for them to do that. And I think E3 could really hone in on that space, that interactivity piece, and even incorporate players into that. So say here's an example.
Yeah.
Say I'm not signing up for E3 as press, strictly casual press pass.
Right.
It would be, say I go in as a consumer, right? Even though E3 has typically in the past, I mean, always exclusively been for press only.
Yep.
And maybe they'll continue that. But I mean, with Summer Games Fest being for everyone, it's hard to do that. But what if I were to be able to buy a pass to E3, right? And what that would get me is it would not only get me access to exclusive interviews and exclusive like statements from developers or like specific like behind closed doors demos and showcases, stuff like that we would get at E3. Remember, we would always get like IGN saying, "Hey, we saw a 45-hour long behind closed doors demo like Cyberpunk 2077. This is what we saw." Right? This is what we're thinking about it. So
that was huge.
Maybe they have like a press pass that you say like, all right, like you want to pay like $100 and you can have access to this event. And in addition, it'll come with download codes for specific demos of these games that are showcased.
Or even cooler, when you buy that, it comes with a download code and everything's downloaded beforehand. So like the day of E3 or whatever, there's time slots that unlock certain demos. You don't know what the demos are or anything like that. You don't know what you're getting your hands on yet. But you might be watching the interviews and say, everybody who bought this pass now has access to this vertical slice of this game. You get to play it for 45 minutes. If you don't, here's a 5-minute gameplay trailer. You know what I mean? But if you do, you get to actually play it. Log into your consoles now or your PC now. Check this out. And like that kind of thing. Like that would be so sick. That'd be so cool.
That would be very, very cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to do
And do you know what they could even do? They could even implement, I mean, I'm gonna take it here.
Do it. You
can even implement NFT technology and say like and incorporate the blockchain so that you can like prove that you're the original owner of this pass.
Of the pass.
Sure. Right. So it can't be, because I could see how you could run into a like wide distribution of these passes to like maybe people like if they wanted to keep it sort of exclusive, like press only sort of thing.
Yeah.
And if these kind of just were able to kind of get like, I don't know, copied or whatever, and people could just
James and I were talking about NFTs the other day. We were having a little NFT chat, just talking about how the blockchain is very interesting, whereas like I understand the cons that NFTs can have inside of video games, like because it seems kind of money making only for
cash grabby.
But the actual idea of owning like something on the blockchain and having proof of ownership over a lot of different things is very cool to me.
Right. And I'm gonna create a tangent off of that to talk about games ownership, because a lot of the reason why people are really big into physical media is because of ownership.
That's
right. It's hard for them to own digital media. And so if I can prove that I own something, like say we have a Mario 35th anniversary. Saying where like Nintendo's like, oh well, like there's a limited run of this game, whatever. Say like, okay, well, like I can prove that I'm an original owner of this game. So like I can prove that I own it, even though Nintendo still sells it in physical copies. And
no, that's a really good point. I didn't think about it that way. That's great. Yeah. It's interesting, man. I don't know. I mean, from that, do you want to jump into our other NFT story since we're kind of already on the
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds
brain?
good. You want?
Yeah, so here we go. Ubisoft decided that they're ending Ghost Recon Breakpoint updates just months after they said that they were going to support the game for a lot longer. And that would come with NFT support. But Ubisoft says they're still working on NFTs for other titles. This comes from GameIndustry.biz. Ubisoft is no longer making content for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, including its controversial NFTs. The official Ghost
Rest in
Recon
peace.
Twitter. What?
I said rest in peace.
Rest in peace, RIP. The official Ghost Recon Twitter account confirmed that March saw the final update for the game, although servers for both Breakpoint and its predecessor, Wildlands, will continue to be maintained. Wildlands is a great game. Breakpoint, not a great game. GameIndustry.biz asked Ubisoft whether this includes the game's NFTs and received a screenshot from Ubisoft Quartz website, which is Ubisoft Quartz website is their NFT website, which is not available in all regions, confirming this to be the case. The message thanks to all Ghost Recon Breakpoint players who claim their first digits, which are their...
Ubisoft's term for NFTs.
Thank you. Oh, perfect. Adding, quote, your own piece of game, or you own a piece of the game and have left your mark in its history. It concludes, stay tuned for more updates with features to the platform and future drops coming with other games. News of Ubisoft's entry into selling NFTs was met with confusion and frustration among some of its own staff, as well as backlash from members of the public. Earlier this year, Ubisoft Strategic Innovations Lab Vice President Nicholas Poard said in an interview that gamers don't get how they can benefit from NFTs. They don't get
Perard.
Perard. Also, I heard that the only NFT, like, okay, so in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, we were just talking about NFTs with like ownership and knowing that you own like the first of something or
right.
Proof on the blockchain. These NFTs are like shorts. Like you can buy shorts for your character in game, and then it says that you own this
like,
pair of shorts.
As in a physical pair of shorts, or like not physical in real life, but like physical on the player.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Digital but physical in game. I guess.
Yeah.
This article uses the word trousers. That's what you can buy via an NFT. You can trade trousers.
I think maybe the problem for me is I think NFTs in games are dumb, but I think NFTs of games is good. Or maybe not good, but better.
Right.
Not NFTs as like this is one specific thing, but like I can just prove that I own this game. Because then when you get into that, I actually think it removes a lot of power from like really huge companies who are like more concerned with profit and can kind of like have control over your library and what you own at a moment's notice. So for example, I think a really good example of this is PT.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So imagine if I downloaded PT, and I guess it gets a little chalky, a little ambiguous when it comes to demos and free titles like that.
Right.
But imagine I could just for argument's sake, say like if I owned PT, right? And if I had that original like receipt in the blockchain that basically said like, yes, like I am the owner, like I am one of the owners of the game. And like who's to say Sony can take that away from me?
Well, and the argument, I'm just going to play devil's advocate.
Please, that is very helpful.
The other people would just say, well, you can see it in your PlayStation library still. Why? And you can't download it, but it's there. Like so that means you own it. So why would I need the blockchain? That's what someone would say to that, you know?
But you can't play it.
Right. But I don't think you'd be able to play it even if you had some sort of proof that you owned it on the blockchain. Because they're just like it's the same way as like Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale game. You can no longer buy that game physically. So this is where it gets even weirder. You can't buy that game physically like anywhere unless you're finding a very old copy of it, but you can still download and play it. But they're not even selling it on the PlayStation Store anymore. So like I have the proof that I have the game. I bought it digitally. I can still play it because I have it. But you can't purchase that from the PlayStation Store anymore. So how does that work? I guess I have that on the blockchain or whatever that says I own Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale game. Like I purchased it. And so someone else can't now. So they can't have that sort of ownership on the blockchain. But like I don't know if I need the proof to that because just playing it to me is the proof since no one else can play it right now. But at a moment's notice, they can take that away from me, just like they did with PT, just like they did with anything. So that is that's the cool piece right there, is that although you do have access to these things right now, and there is a way to tell like I own this, there's no promise that there's always going to be a way to tell you that you own this. And that's what's kind of interesting about the blockchain.
Yeah, and so I guess like my point or my ask would be, or a goal would be for a player to be promised access to be able to play that game that they own
Right. Which would be a hard
with that
ask.
blockchain. It'd be definitely a hard ask.
Yeah. But it's interesting, man. I don't know. I think this industry, the games industry as a whole, is now very unwelcoming to NFTs, to where it's going to be very hard to convince people that not I don't want to say that not all of them are bad or something, but there's different forms of it, and it's not just the thing that everybody hates. Like, I understand not wanting it in games. I don't think I really want it inside of games either. Like trading
Right.
skins, or, oh, you own this paint job and you can use it in every single game that exists, and like weird stuff that is going to cause like developers, like, that sounds like hell. That sounds like hell trying to program
Yeah.
that, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
All that stuff I don't care about. I don't know enough about all that stuff. But I think there is something that could be cool that could come from it. Come from a different
I'm in the
piece.
same I'm in the same boat. I haven't seen NFTs inside of games that I've liked at all, because it gives like it very much you play into power dynamics between players and seeing like who
Yeah.
has things and who does not have things. And
Yeah.
I don't like that sort of like hierarchies and sort of things like that you can create with ownership of
Yeah.
things in games.
Have I
Um,
asked you about, I mean, I think I brought this up before, because this is the kind of the thing that makes more sense to me when I think about it. I think of Counter-Strike and
that's what I
opening,
think of too.
yeah, opening crates to get skins and stuff. And then there was a huge
Yeah.
marketplace for that stuff. Plus, there was a lot of trading. There was gambling with these. Like, there was an entire ecosystem and economy system within Counter-Strike based on skins and stuff, which is interesting to me. But it's not like you could use that skin in other games and things like that. And it was also a player-based economy, because none of those things were sanctioned, really. I mean, there was trading
No.
sanctioned by Counter-Strike. That was, you could trade in game, but you can't gamble in game. You can't sell in game to other players for like real money and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's what made that interesting. But if that piece of it is controlled by the game creator, can you imagine, like, oh, they get 60% of profits for each thing? Like, you're actually
Hmm.
losing you lose every time. You would lose every time.
Right.
And that's kind of, ugh. It feels
Yeah,
gross
I
to
hate
me.
that. Yeah.
So, what if we have a player controlled, and I don't know. That's a
Just
conversation I'm not even ready to
decentralize
have.
everything.
Yeah,
Just decentralize everything.
you would have to do
Player
that in
control.
game.
This opens up into a very larger conversation
It's
of
something that I'm not
economics,
prepared for.
baby. Vincent, I'm ready for the podcast in which we spend like an entire week. Like, this is the economics podcast in
Right.
which we spend an entire week talking to economists,
Sure.
and we like just really fucking
The
research
bonus episode.
economics. The bonus episode in which we talk about economics.
Checkpoint economics. Get ready.
Yeah.
Strap in, baby.
I'm saying, Vin, there's this like in between space between like business, like the just like games and economics
Yeah.
and the industry, that I feel like we could just kind of like
Just get
it'd be
into.
so hard. We could just get into that.
Sure, just wiggle
Just
on
kind of
in.
slip in,
Yeah.
wiggle in.
We need Benji Sales on here. We need
We
like
need Benji
all
sales.
those people.
We need Matt in here who
Yep.
does SIO stuff,
Mm-hmm.
SEO stuff, search engine optimization, and
Yep.
business. Anyway,
That'd be pretty fun.
we need to keep it moving
Me
because
too.
we're 30 minutes into the
Oh
podcast.
my god. Yep.
Let's move on to metaverse because we're still on the
Sure.
topic of NFTs.
Let's.
The Lego Group and Epic Games team up to build a place for kids to play in the metaverse. This comes from epicgames.com. The Lego Group and Epic Games today announced, and that does mean today, announced they are entering a long-term, well, which is Thursday, April 7th.
7.
The Lego Group and Epic Games today announced they are entering a long-term partnership to shape the future of the metaverse to make it a fun and safe environment. No, to make it fun and safe for children and families. The two companies will team up to build an immersive, creatively inspiring, and engaging digital experience for kids of all ages to enjoy together. The family-friendly digital experience will give kids access to tools that will empower them to become confident creators and deliver amazing play opportunities in a safe and positive space.
Give me
Just love
Minecraft for
kiddos.
Legos, baby. Let's go.
It's essential. Well, they had that. They had that a while ago. It was like Lego World.
Yeah, that's true. A little, yeah.
I don't know. That's a big shoulder shrug for me. Niels B. Christensen, CEO of the Lego Group, said a few things in addition to the statement, but it was basically just like, we care a lot about kids.
I'm sure
Just as
that is
we've
your
been
target
saying, quote,
audience.
saying, quote, just as we've protected children's rights to safe physical play for generations, we are committed to doing the same for digital play. We look forward to working with Epic Games to shape this exciting and playful future, unquote. Tim Sweeney, CEO and founder of Epic Games, said, quote, the LEGO Group has captivated the imagination of children and adults through creative play for nearly a century, and we are excited to come together to build a space in the metaverse that's fun, entertaining, and made for kids and families, unquote. Epic Games has expertise in building. You were going to say something.
You're correct. Lego Worlds is trying to be the Minecraft of Legos, but it just looks not good.
And that's where I just shrug my shoulders and say,
maybe they're building off of that or something. You know, this is V2.
I don't know.
Metaverse V2.
I don't know. Epic Games has expertise in building creative tools and immersive worlds that are open and accessible to players and developers everywhere. It is at the forefront of popular culture, creating experiences that connect people through gaming, music, and creative collaboration. Epic is also committed to enabling developers to create age-appropriate experiences online, and in 2020 acquired Super Awesome, a company that has pioneered technology designed to deliver safe digital engagement with children under 16. For 90 years, the LEGO Group has inspired generations of children through play through the endless creative possibilities of the LEGO brick, which remains the core of its business. The company is a leader in defining safe digital play experiences for children, including the development of an industry-standard digital child safety policy with UNICEF and the 2016 launch of the first fully live moderated social app for children.
This is
the LEGO Group, and
to me, this is the most interesting part right here. This
is like the big thing that I want to finish this real quick.
Yeah.
But the LEGO Group and Epic Games have agreed to 3 principles which will ensure the digital spaces they develop deliver engaging play opportunities safely. 1. Protect children's rights to play by making safety and well-being a priority. 2. Safeguard children's privacy by putting their best interests first. 3. Empower children and adults with tools that give them control over their digital experience. And that's it.
James, we are talking about something called the metaverse, to which everybody you talk about has a different definition about what the hell it actually is, you know? Something like this. But the thing that is kind of a common consensus between people that seem to be knowledgeable on the metaverse is that you do have control over something. Like you're going to be able to own something, you have control over something. It's highly interactive, it's highly social, or well, it could be as social or not social as you want it to be, I guess. But that seems like an absolute red flag for parents and their kids. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
That sounds like the ultimate red flag. Why would Lego be developing something like this for a kid? But right here, this interesting digital child safety policy, like these seems like little words right now. They're just little words in an article right now. But Epic and Lego are freaking massive. These are massive companies. We're gonna see, like,
they'll make so much money.
I have no freaking idea what the next couple years of metaverse and when we're actually gonna be able to like go into the metaverse or someone's metaverse, like things like that, whatever the crap it is. But this digital child safety policy, I guarantee, will have to be like, this will become a standard for all like it'll be stamped with boom, it's DCSP safe, and we're like, what's DCSP? Yep. It's digital child safety policy. Like your children can play this.
It's gonna be like the ESRB for the metaverse.
It is. You're exactly right, and I would not be surprised if Epic is like they're the head of that, because that's what they're becoming. Yep. They're becoming the head of everything. We have more Epic stories too coming later, but like, dude, this is crazy. I have another question. I don't know how, like, if you know much about the metaverse or like much at all, but it seems like there's a lot of different people creating metaverses, and so it's like I don't really know. Like, I wish metaverse. This is so. It sounds stupid because I don't know enough about it, but I've imagined metaverse being like one thing, and you go into it and you can do different things instead of like, oh, I'm in this metaverse, I'm in this metaverse, and this metaverse, and people are so spread out. It's like, oh, well, you're in that one, I'm in this one, so I mean, let's forget about it. Like, I don't know how any of this is going to work at all.
The way it was explained to me is the metaverse is like one digital space. Maybe maybe this is even just one particular metaverse, right? But the way it's explained to me, my understanding is it is one big world,
Yeah.
right? And the way it works is like bigger plots, or so basically like the bigger companies, because they have money, would buy bigger plots like closer to the center.
Right.
And so everything is like centralized in this digital space
Yeah.
around the center, because like you can't really, because there's like nothing there, it's hard to put value on any sort of spaces. So people just said middle.
Yeah.
Like we're picking the middle. And so the idea is like you would have like Nike, Apple, Google in the middle, and they'd have those spaces, and then like everyone is trying to get, it would just keep spreading out,
Yeah.
and people would just be trying to get closer to the center. And so
Right.
I don't know how to fit this into there. Maybe it is that like Lego has a plot like near the middle, and that is a safe space for kids to like hang out and do things in the Lego zone.
Did you see Reddit's r/place this week?
No.
It kind of reminded me of this kind of stuff. So r/place is like a giant digital board where you can own a pixel on that board for a set amount of time. And so people were drawing things like, if you own a pixel, you can change its color. So people were collaborating and like making things, like making stuff on this r/place board, or like streamers like Hassan was doing it, Mizkif, all these people, they have 50,000 people in their chat. So they're like, okay, in this corner, we're going to build this. When the timer runs out here and people lose their access to these pixels, I need everybody to jump on this because we're going to draw this. And it happens because they have so much power, dude. They have 50,000 people. They have an army of people they can do. And they started a war with like other countries of an r/place. Like they were in a war with France. It was like the coolest thing to watch. It was crazy. But it was like all fun and games. Of course, everybody was just joking around, laughing about it. But like that is like, that's exactly what we're talking about here. Is like people want to own this like digital piece of something, and like they want other people to know that they own it. When you scroll over the pixel, it showed the person's name, their Reddit username. And I was like, this just makes sense now. Like I don't know why, but watching that just kind of made it click for me. Like people were gonna do it. It doesn't sound. It's a fun thing. It's not stupid, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's creative. It's collaborative.
Right.
I like that a lot.
So it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Should we move on to the next epic story here?
What is the next epic story?
Unreal.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Unreal Engine 5 has officially released. This comes from IGN. 2 years after Epic Games revealed Unreal Engine 5 with a gorgeous tech demo, the next-gen games engine is officially available. It's been released alongside a playable shooter, Lyra, which I haven't seen anything about.
Or Lyra, maybe?
Or Lyra, yeah. Unreal Engine 5 is Epic's latest game in a line of game engines available to game developers big and small. While the release of a new game engine isn't typically news that excites folks, until, well, video games start getting made with them, Epic first revealed Unreal Engine 5 with a blockbuster tech demo called Lumen in the Land of Nanite. Do you remember watching that?
Is that the desert one?
Yeah, desert one. She flies at the end. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool.
That was made to specifically demonstrate 2 of the marquee features of Unreal Engine 5. Lumen, which is a dynamic illumination tool where light adapts to the world naturally and easily, and Nanite, which lets developers import film quality level visual assets into the game while maintaining real-time frame rate and without dips in fidelity. We also saw the Matrix demo running in Unreal Engine 5. That's available on PlayStation, Xbox, and stuff like that. You can check that out. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's like not built out. You kind of just play it for like a second just to kind of see it. But they also revealed a list of studios with that are like studios working on their games with the new Unreal Engine 5. And there's some heavy hitters in here. Witcher was the first to come out. There's some really
heavy hitters.
So Witcher came out this week and said we're developing within Unreal Engine 5. Like it's happening.
Witcher? Yeah.
And then the next big one was the new Tomb Raider game will be Unreal Engine 5. And Tomb Raider games have always looked pretty dang good. These like the last 3. But
I'm just looking through this right now.
Yeah, does anything stick out to you from the list? We just have a picture.
We have Ninja Theory, so developers of Hellblade.
Yep.
We have CD Projekt, Supermassive Games. We have Rare. We have Xbox and PlayStation, of course. People Can Fly.
Yeah. Obsidian's a big one for me. I think that
Obsidian's a big one. PlayStation VR 2.
That's the huge one for me. Are you
That
kidding
is a
me?
huge one. And
Yeah.
Eidos Montreal is great.
Hmm.
Devolver Digital, which is interesting to see Devolver Digital because they're a smaller studio,
Yeah.
or like they do more indie type games. So I'm really interested to see how like games with
Which,
lower kind of like lower fidelity, like more 16-bit sort of like retro
right.
style can take advantage of this
Well,
hardware.
and
2K.
that's kind of the cool thing to me though is did you ever play that ray tracing Lego game? It's on Steam only or whatever, but it's like a puzzle game and it's the most gorgeous game and it's the most simplest thing. And I
Mm-mm.
feel like Devolver would be the perfect studio to like have a small experience but takes full advantage of like anything that Unreal Engine 5 could give them because the big AAA games they have to cut corners somewhere and like if they're building these giant
Yep.
open worlds, but as a smaller game you don't have to cut corners like that, so it could be really cool.
Right. And I just love how, I mean, I just hear nothing but positive things about how accessible Unreal Engine 5 is and how easy it
Yeah,
makes a lot of elements for developers.
right.
So I'm really, really glad that so many studios are using it. And it makes sense that so many studios are using it because it's so easy. And it,
Yeah,
like, we talked about this with Cyber, no, with The Witcher and Cyberpunk about making like proprietary engines for the game,
right. Yeah, the
right? And
studio's
how
own
much of an
engine.
issue. Right. Studios making their own engine is such a time sink and
we
it's so much effort
we just talked
that
about that with Lego Star Wars the other week too, a couple weeks ago.
that's right. No, that's what it was. That's what it was. It was
Yeah,
Lego Star Wars
I mean
and
CD
how
Project
that
Red,
was such a huge issue.
they're using their own engine as well.
Yeah, they're using the CD Project
Yeah,
engine, something like that, for Cyberpunk.
currently.
And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to continue to do all the DLC for Cyberpunk on that. But for Witcher, they're switching over.
Yeah. Can you imagine switching engines mid game? Oh my god. If Cyberpunk didn't already have enough problems, that would be terrible.
Dude, if I was a developer working on the engine, I'd be like, I'm quitting. Like this, you know.
It's a lot, dude. But yeah, there's some cool studios in here. If you want to check out the full list, you can find these pictures anywhere. It's just exciting, man. It's just the next, like, we have the next generation of consoles. This is the next generation of what your games that you're playing on those consoles will be. So
Right.
you should be
I
excited
think
about it.
because of this, we'll see more. I think this is kind of like the bumper to
Mm,
the like PS5 only or Xbox Series X only
yep.
games
Right.
because Unreal Engine 5 can't run on old hardware. Are you joking my ass? There's
Probably
no way
not
this is
great.
running on a PlayStation 4.
No.
I mean
Also,
that no one said that explicitly, but
right.
I don't think that it's running on PlayStation 4.
Yeah. A studio I like to see on here is Remedy, James.
Yep.
And
Yep.
James, tell us a little bit about Remedy's big news that they had out of left field yesterday.
Oh
Holy
man.
crap.
Oh man, Remedy is remaking Max Payne 1 and 2 inside the Control engine, the engine for the game Control.
Which
This comes from
looks very good. Control's a beautiful game.
looks very, very good. Kotaku.com. Film noir sad sack Max Payne is getting his due with a full remake of the first two games. Developer Remedy and Entertainment announced today. The new compilation will include both Max Payne and Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max, and be exclusive to PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Remakes of the PS2 era games are part of a new publishing agreement with Grand Theft Auto maker Rockstar Games. Remedy will develop the games using its proprietary Northlight game engine, which made 2019's excellent paranormal thriller Control, while Rockstar will fund the production. The studio says development will be, quote, in line with a typical Remedy AAA game production, unquote, and that it's still in the concept stage. It's years away, in other words, which is probably why it's not coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Now, Vin, now that we have this,
Yeah.
and we have news of Remedy using Unreal Engine 5, do you think they're still going to use the Control engine?
I don't know. This announcement did come after the launch of Unreal Engine 5, so I feel like they could
Okay.
have, if they were using Unreal Engine 5, I feel like this would
They
have
would
been
have said
a
so.
perfect way to be like, Max Payne is coming. We're using Unreal Engine 5. We're going for it. Now, I do believe that Remedy is not just working on this. They're working on other stuff for sure, whether that be a second Control or whatever's next for Remedy. So I'm assuming whatever that next thing will be, that'll be on Unreal Engine 5, and then whatever, having Max Payne 1 and 2. I know it says they're still in conceptual stages, but maybe they're already starting development inside the Control engine. Which
Also,
again,
where's Max Payne 3?
I don't know. Maybe they have a different plan.
Maybe Unreal Engine 5 for Max Payne 3. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, that's exciting. I've never played the Max Payne games, so this could be a cool spot. I want to play the original though, just because I feel like there's a lot of charm in that we won't get here. But I'm sure it's gonna be gorgeous and a shit ton of fun.
Yeah,
It's
I'll probably play these because they're so well acclaimed
yeah,
there's such a huge cult following behind them.
absolutely. Very, very cool. I believe, James, it is clip time, baby.
It's clip time, baby.
You let me know when you're ready to
Recording
go.
now.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has officially released after so freaking long, it feels like. And people have some good things to say overall about it. James, what do we got here for some reviews?
This comes from Nibellion on Twitter with the review roundup, and these are early review scores. The game's already come out. Maybe we want to update these for post-launch review scores.
Sure.
Shock News says 9 out of 10, I assume. Windows Central gives it a 4 out of 5. Hard Gamer gives it a 4.5 out of 5. Press Start gives it an 8.5 out of 10. IGN gives it an 8 out of 10. GameSpew gives it an 8 out of 10. Game Informer gives it an 8 out of 10. Destructoid 7.5 out of 10. Open Critic score of 84 with 26 critics, and the Metacritic is sitting at a 86 on PlayStation 5 and an 83 on Series X.
Yeah. James, have played all of Phantom Menace so far.
Wow.
And
that is a lot.
Yeah, so okay, the game's broken up into this. Obviously, you have all 9 games you can play through. You can start at the beginning of any trilogy you would like. So either 1 or 4 or 6, or 1 or 4 or 7. I want to play 1 through 9 all the way through, so I started with 1, and the prequels they're the best. They're the ones I would want to play through the most, so I jumped right in. And I would say it seems like each, if you were to main path it, you could do each level or each, movie in 2 hours, about.
Okay.
Ish. Although,
okay.
I'm going through it extremely slowly because they drop you into these hub worlds, James, and it is exactly what I want to do in a Lego game, is just dick around. And it's like, you now have full camera control over your characters, which you've never had in a Lego game before. You can force objects. I can place them on top of things to build things like on my own. It's not like the hold the circle to build. Obviously there is that too, but like you can build your own objects with different things to get up on high areas, collect bricks I'm doing upgrades for myself. And there's like some meaningful upgrades that like are, this is an upgrade I want before I move on to the next mission. So I'm like, it's been so much fun. It looks gorgeous. It's funny. Like it's well written. I think it makes fun of Star Wars just enough with like still like loving it, I guess. I'm totally having a great time with it. I can't wait to play more. There's ship combat, dude. You can fly around space and fly into different planets and go back to the hub worlds.
Cool.
I'm loving it, dude. I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's really, really cool. There's 1,166 upgrade blocks to collect throughout the entire world. And
you're gonna get all of them.
I can't promise, but it's so far I could see myself doing it. I'm at like 78 right now, and I'm like, it's just the beginning, baby. I've only been on Tatooine, Naboo, and like Coruscant, and there's 20 planets, James. 20 planets with like 3 hub worlds separately, and each area has a different space. So in space you have bounties that you can be shooting down. There's like races, puzzles, wars. You can join wars in space, and then you choose what side you're going to be on. So it's always like the good versus the bad side. But if you start shooting the good ships, you're recruited to the enemies, and you can just kill all the good guys.
Oh wow!
Like it's really cool. Yeah, you could become a bounty hunter that way too. It's
very cool.
It's sick. Imran Khan, love Imran Khan. He tweeted this the other day. He says, "I've been playing a little Lego Star Wars, but we only got a code late last week, which came out a couple days ago." And he said, "I straight up did not have time to finish it yet, but I will say that even to someone who is jaded about Star Wars, even to someone as jaded about Star Wars as I am, it kind of reminded me why I used to love Star Wars. It's pretty cool."
You want to read this IGN quote?
Yeah, I'll read this IGN quote. It says, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga provides some Rick-rolling reimaginings of Star Wars' most
rollicking
reimagines of Star Wars' most iconic moments and seats them inside a series of interplanetary playgrounds that are dense with discovery and entertaining diversions. Certain elements, like its upgrade and cover systems, feel somewhat superfluous. Thank you. And co-op has some notable drawbacks, but there were otherwise enough laugh out loud gags and surprising shifts in gameplay to keep me thoroughly engaged from the opening crawl of episode 1 all the way through the end of episode 9, which is more than I can say for the actual movies. This is from Tristan Olagive.
Yeah. Ogilvy?
Ogilvy? Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. So it's just positive things. I have nothing but positive things to say about it. But James, it also broke a few records this week. At the end,
It did.
it did. Check this out. This is from aggro.com.
Okay.
Go for it. It's all you.
Oh. The action adventure from TT Games was able to, a few hours after launch, more than 82,000 concurrent active players show. In fact, there were 82,517 users who logged in at the same time LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga cavorted. That means that at the same time a new record, did I read that? That means at the same time a new record, no other Star Wars game, I hate the way this is written. No other Star Wars game before has been able to reach such a high peak. The previous leader in this category was the action adventure Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order with 46,550 concurrent players.
Almost doubled it, dude. That's crazy.
But that's just one of the two records that the Skywalker Saga could field at the same time, and it is also, in terms of player numbers, the most successful LEGO game on Steam to date. Far behind in second place is LEGO Marvel Superheroes with a peak of 5,953 active players at the same time.
That's crazy. That's a huge difference.
That is crazy.
Now, I will say probably the LEGO games might have been a little newer to Steam when LEGO Marvel Superheroes had dropped. I mean, that was like a 2014 game, 2013 game. And so, I don't know. Unless they've always been on PC, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's like a console thing for a while.
Yeah, especially back in like GameCube days.
Right. But that is a gigantic change no matter what. 5,000 to 82,000.
That's a lot of players.
I'm so excited to play more of this. There's like so much to do in it, but it's not necessarily overwhelming, which is awesome. Because I first saw it and I was like, oh my god, there's like too much. Like I'm just gonna play through the story and we'll see where we're at afterwards. But I don't know. Like I got to the part in Attack of the Clones where Anakin's gonna go save his mom and kill the Tusken Raiders, but at the Tusken camp, like after the mission, there's like so much fun stuff to do. I was like talking to characters, and all the characters like side mission dialogue is hilarious. They're all like riffs on some of the movie stuff, and just they're fun because they're not long enough where I'm skipping through a bunch to get my mission to like do something. It's like just enough. They give it to you right away because they know that this game is made for people with attention spans like this big. Yeah. So it's perfect for me, dude. It's great. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Your Goopy Goblin gamer brain.
My Goopy Goblin gamer brain is just eating this baby up. That's it.
I probably won't play it.
Yeah, that's fair.
As my backlog is too big.
Yeah, I get it. It's not smart of me to jump into another game when I have so many unfinished games. But damn, I'm loving it, and I probably won't stop. I'll probably play through the 9 of them and then go back. But I have 2 major games at once right now. It's going to be Elden Ring and Skywalker Saga, and then when I'm done with the main 9 for Skywalker Saga, it'll be back to Elden Ring and Horizon until I beat Horizon. Then I can, free flow again.
Yeah.
One day. One day. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to watch the whole podcast, become a member here on YouTube or listen to the whole thing for free on audio platforms. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, bam.
Well, bam. What do we still got in here, Vin?
We got Monkey Island. We could talk about that real quick, and then
Monkey Island, baby.
That's it.
And then it's RFS.
Yep.
Return to Monkey Island arriving in 2022. Original creator Gilbert. This comes from Polygon. Nearly 32 years since the release of The Secret of Monkey Island, and over 13 years since 2009's Tales of Monkey Island, publisher Devolver Digital and Lucasfilm Games has announced the release of Return to Monkey Island. The new game is due later this year. The 6th entry in the critically acclaimed point-and-click comedic adventure series Return to Monkey Island will be directed by series creator Ron Gilbert and co-written by Gilbert and Dave Grossman. Series composers Michael Land, Peter McConnell, and Clint Bajakian, yep, that's a try, will return to compose the game's score. Dominic Armato, who voiced the series protagonist Guybrush Threepwood in every Monkey Island game to date, will return to reprise his role as the iconic character. Fan, have you ever played a Monkey Island game?
I don't know. I'm looking at it. It looks.
What do you mean you don't know?
It looks so familiar. Like I know. I don't have any core memories playing the Monkey Island games, but I'm like, I have had to have played this before. It's like that.
I don't think I've played one.
Like what did Monkey Island come out on? Like what could I have played?
PC, I would assume.
Then I probably haven't. Like
because it's point and click.
Yeah, then I must have not played it.
See, this is this. Do you know what this reminds me of, Vin?
Hmm.
I grew up on. I don't know if you're aware with any of these franchises, but I grew up on Putt Putt and Pajama Sam and
James,
Spy Fox.
don't get me effing started on Pajama Sam. Okay.
Pajama Sam just fucks.
Did you know that there's a pajamas? It's on Steam sale right now. It's like $12, and it's all the Putt Putt, all the Pajama Sam, everything by that developer.
Shut the
James,
fuck up.
every single
I'm
one.
I'm buying this right now.
It's like
This
30 games.
Holy fuck.
Someone told me about it, and I was like, they were streaming it, and they're like, you got to buy it if you have any good memories of this at all.
But this seems to be like the adult version.
Right. So now that I'm looking at this,
this is no longer on sale.
I'll find it.
It's $100 for all of these games from Big Thinkers, Freddy Fish, Buzzy, Pajama Sam, Putt Putt, and Spy Fox.
Okay, The Curse of Monkey Island, James.
Uh-huh.
I definitely played this game. Like, if you look at it, you've probably played this game too. It looks.
I don't think I have.
Oh man, like
I have to play it though because it's one of these point and click adventures. I fucking love a point and click adventure. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say
The Curse of Monkey Island?
We have to review The Curse of Monkey Island.
Okay. I think we should. James, I might have a PC disc of The Curse of Monkey Island. Like, there's the potential.
I mean, it's $7 on Steam.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
The Monkey Island Collection bundle is on sale for 25% off on Steam.
Let me look at.
Comes from The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, Monkey Island 2 Special Edition, LeChuck's Revenge, The Curse of Monkey Island, and Escape from Monkey Island. Of which Escape from Monkey Island is not well reviewed.
Oh, not good. Not good
it's mixed reviewed. But Curse of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2 and The Secret of Monkey Island are all overwhelmingly positive.
What if I told you I could get every single one of the Monkey Island games for $9.27? Could I interest you in that? It might be on G2A, the code website, you know? So that might be, it's a little sketch. I have used it before, and it did work. We'll have to
I just want to give money to the developer, you know?
As do I. Okay, anyways, let's go on to random fun stuff and wrap this baby episode up, and then we can see, we can look into some Monkey Island gameplay. Coming up, RFS, everybody's favorite part of the show, random fun stuff. James, get us with the first one.
PS5 is now bigger than the N64 in the UK and is closing in on the Game Boy Advance. Xbox Series S and X overtook the GameCube a few months back. If only there was more stock, we'd be seeing some serious records breaking here. Long generation ahead. This comes from Christopher Dring, head of gamesindustry.biz.
Pretty cool. That's big numbers, baby.
Big numbers.
He's predicting a long generation, meaning like probably longer than the last generation.
I think so too. I mean, I feel like the hardware ceiling is just so huge.
Yeah, it's way higher. The Game Pass lineup for the first half of April has been released, and we have Life is Strange True Colors, which is huge, Lost in Random, MLB The Show 2022, Cricket 2022, Panzer Corps 2, Chinatown Detective Agency, and Dungeons of Newellbeck. The Huelbeck.
I haven't heard of any of those games besides MLB and Life is Strange.
Yep, same.
Rumor. According to Windows Central, Microsoft is planning an Xbox Game Pass family plan to launch this year.
James, here's what I'm saying. We need to have a strictly casual family plan, and we might be all paying like $6, like less than $6 a month for this, and that would be the move.
That'd be ideal.
Supermassive Games, The Quarry, is getting a 30-minute. Oh, gets a 30-minute.
Already got.
Demo. Yeah, and it turns out to be an Until Dawn spiritual successor, and it looks pretty gorgeous, pretty cool. And Brenda Song's in it, so you know, pretty cool.
Come on,
London
Tip Tim, baby. Yeah. Trek to Yomi gets an extended gameplay trailer that's 15 minutes.
You cut out completely at the end there for some reason. I'm not sure why.
It releases May 5th.
There we go. Sweet. Cyberpunk 2077 drops to $5 at Best Buy. So if you haven't picked it up, just, you know, this is great value for this game.
It is a great value.
Might be the perfect
Rogue Legacy 2. Rogue Legacy 2 launches April 28th on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One.
Sweet. Lots of good RFS in there today.
That's a wrap, baby.
That's a wrap. James, any closing words?
Episode 107. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for leaving a review, subscribing to our channel, and doing all of those things. Interact with us so that our algorithm gets boosted.
So we boost, baby. To the top, gamers.
To the top.
All right, rolling this outro. Also, I liked our NFT talk today. That was pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, I kind of want to make a separate clip for it.
Okay, we could do that. All right, peace out, guys. We'll see you next week. Kisses.
Peace out, y'all.